Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News.
Over the years, Nigerian music has evolved exponentially, giving rise to a number of stars. These young, vibrant Nigerians have evolved in their musical careers, which has made them become some of the greatest global voices in music.
The early styles of popular music saw high-life music spread across Nigeria and neighboring countries such as Ghana and Senegal.
With its diverse cultures and ethnicities, it was difficult for popular music in Nigeria to have a monocultural identity.
Today, phenomenal growth being experienced in the Nigerian music industry is led by new and prolific musicians who constitute the new army of local Nigerian artists that are looking inward and making music. And I like the word army.
Well, one of these musicians is Nigerian singer and songwriter Waje Aina Vivian Irobe, popularly called Waje. He joins us now on the discussion, growing global recognition and acceptance of Nigerian pop music culture. Well, Waje doing her thing there. She now joins us now for a discussion on global recognition and acceptance of Nigerian pop music culture. Great to have you again here, Waje.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
When you look at that video, what comes to mind?
I think about what I went through. Oh my God. Because it was shot in Cape Town, and my stylist here was supposed to come meet us there. Her visa didn't come out early enough. And
we are laughing because we just had a discussion on free movement of Africans on the African continent.
honestly, and then she ended up not coming because she wasn't given a visa. So the morning of the shoot, my dear friend, and makeup artist Joyce Jacob, we had to go shopping that morning, and our call time was 8 o'clock. But we just, and it's Cape Town, you know, it was a Sunday, you don't have a lot of shops that opened. We went to prop shops that had like different, clothes that they use, and I still didn't get anything to wear. So we just had to go by the beach, and someone was selling shorts and overall.
Wow.
Yeah.
That came out beautifully. And just looking at that and what the Nigerian artist has to go through to put all of that together.
Yes.
And where they are today. I mean,
Yes.
just recently, look at Beyonce
Yes.
collaborating with about 6 Nigerians.
Yes.
And the different international collaborations we're having at the moment. What would you say is responsible for this success so far? I mean, it's not the first time Nigerian music is gaining global recognition, but we're seeing youngsters and more.
Yes,
what is fueling this?
Well, to be honest, I'll tell you that the exchange of pop culture, our cultures, because of technology, the world has changed. You know, even with the use of smartphones, people are beginning to understand our ways, want to be part of our identity and all of that. So it makes it easier to, you know, export our music and get new fans, you know, abroad, for people in the diaspora and all of that. So I think that's one of the biggest blessings that we've had in recent times.
Only recently, the likes of Burna Boy appeared on Jimmy Kimmel, and it was quite very elating to see that a certain, and this breaks my heart when I say it, a certain Majek Udumi, Majek Fashek, appeared on David Letterman's show in 1992.
Yes.
But see what has become of Majek Fashek today. The welfare of the artist, because these are glamour days for you guys. 10, 20, 15 years down the line, you might not hear those people on the scene any longer. How do we take care of them?
Well, that's a question that I'm even trying to answer for myself, if I have to be honest with you. I think that one of the blessings that Burna has is that he has his mom as part of his team. And if you look at the most successful artists, you find out that management and people that have been part of their careers have been there for a very long time. You have to be in the space of people who understand where you're coming from and where you're going and know where to draw the line and the boundaries. Because the thing about the international market is once you're hot, they need you every minute, every second. It's really about what they can get now. But balancing all of that is what gives you the longevity in your career. So in terms of his welfare, I think he has his mom, and that goes a long way. And knowing when to just, because I heard recently with this album that he just created and released, that it was very important for him to also release it in the Nigerian market. And the reason why he would have that sort of mindset is probably because he has the right management. Some people get carried away and be like, oh, We don't sign go Oyibo, make we just do one day go. But you have to understand the market you're coming from. You know, and that keeps you grounded.
And why I ask this question is, look at what happened to Techno recently.
Yes.
With his voice thing.
Yes.
I watched an exclusive interview with Techno, and Techno was talking about the fact that he was close to becoming broke already from just that medical incident that spanned over 6 months.
Yes.
In fact, he said, despite the voice wasn't healed yet,
yes,
there was a time he had to go play a show
so that he can
because he was broke already.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So,
at least the last time I was here, you guys were asking me about my outburst. And the reason why is because we haven't created platforms where Nigerian artists can also make money outside the music, even though it's under that music sphere. You know what I mean? Like, take for instance, insurance. You know, as a civil servant, right? You have your retirement plan and all of that. But the entertainment industry, except for a few companies that I know that are focused on investing in artists, I don't want to call any names, but I've had a few conversations about, okay, Waje, what's the next plan? And the reason why is because they understand that you have maybe a span of 5, 10 years, 15 years. So they create different avenues for you to say, okay, this is going to be the plan, and moving forward, this is how I'm going to follow up. You know, we don't have that. So you just have people who come, there's no structure. So you have people you're earning from royalties, but only abroad. When that ends, how much royalties can you earn here? You have artists that are not recording artists abroad that are only, I beg your pardon, that are only recording artists abroad. They don't do concerts or anything like that. But they're sustained because there's an avenue for them to make money off the content that they have. But I'll also say that it's better than it was 5 years ago. And I say that because publishing has, you know, become a big thing right now in this dispensation. And we're hoping that we get to a point where it's steady enough to sustain us.
Let's talk about Waje. The last time we were here, indeed, we talked about the outburst and what you're doing next, and how you've diversified into acting, a business with your best friend.
Yes.
But we do hear you're planning a concert now.
Yes.
From an outburst to a concert.
Yes.
What is responsible for this? Why do you want to have a concert now? And why is it so important for you?
Well, I'm a very artistic person. And creatively, you can't survive if you're deprived that, even as a human being. So I've always wanted something that represented me. Unfortunately, there was a disconnect, and probably, so yeah, you were right when I had conversation with you the last time. Unfortunately, my fans were at a certain place and I was, so they were really not connecting. So I had to go back, and my management and I sat down and said, okay, Waje, let's find ways to reconnect to your fans. And so I decided to do something that is tailored for me. It's a very auditory and visual concert. That is, its music is the different fusions of genres that make Nigerians beautiful, joyous, and that's why we are known all over the world. It's not because of high life alone, but there's bongo music infused in our vibe, there's Afrobeat infused in our vibe, even Fuji self. You understand? All these things are things that make Nigerian music what it is. So I want people to come into my world and see me tell a story musically in my own way.
So this is a solo performance, or would you be
Well,
having
I have
friends
a
on
few
stage?
opening acts and people that performed on the album with me, like Adekunle Gold and Johnny Drill, hopefully, and a few other surprises that I will not let the cat out of the bag yet. But yes, I do have a few artists performing on stage. It's on the 1st of September at the Muson Shell Hall.
So let's talk a little bit about the outpost and the last time we had you here. After that interview, what has the reaction been? Because I think that's about the first interview where you really bared it all on television. What is the reaction been?
I'm fortunate. I'm fortunate. I'm lucky that people didn't crucify me too much. A lot of people understood where I was coming from.
They did crucify you?
They did crucify me. A few people did.
How did they crucify you?
A few people were upset, and it's only natural. They were like, Waje, come on now. You know, we listened to your music. We played your music. It was your fault that we didn't get to hear or know what was happening with you, and I understand that, you know. So I just, you know, criticism is very important. You learn from your mistakes, retrace your steps, and make sure you do better.
You mentioned...
Am I sounding very political?
Yes, politically correct.
No.
He's just wondering,
Yeah.
I guess, the journey. I mean, you have that outburst. You came here, you spoke about it. And now you're confident you can have this concert for your followers and for your fans.
You know why? Because people that hire me to perform, it's probably 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And yes, my fans love me. But there are also people who are my fans who've never really seen me in my element.
This is your first concert?
It's my very first concert.
Your own concert?
My own concert. I've had showcases of 100 to 100 people. But I've never had a concert that the scripting and everything is by me, made for me from beginning to the end. So this is the first time.
I mean, why I was going was the fact that the can-do spirit in you to say I will continue despite the breakdown. I mean, that was why I was like, the can-do spirit, because a lot of people thought that was just the end. You've had enough.
And I thought so too. I have to be really honest, I thought so. Which comes to the question you asked about the welfare of our artists. Creative people are made in a certain way, and we have our excesses. And half the time we question ourselves. We are our worst critic. But having the right support system, you realize that there are things you can do. I went back to dancing lessons. I've been dancing since March. I went back to body confidence. It was all just a thing of my mind.
We'll go back to a break after that dancing lesson. We'll go to a quick break. We'll come back and talk to you soon.
Welcome back to the morning show here on the Rise News. This is the last lap of the show today. We still have with us super talented, multi-talented Waje in the studio with us. Thank you for staying with us, Waje.
Thank you for having me.
So you're planning to have this concert to reconnect with your fans.
Yes.
Does this signify that Waje is fully back?
Yes, I'm fully back.
And what should we expect? Because last time we spoke about the outburst. I'm sorry, I have to refer to it again as the outburst.
Yeah.
Rufai did mention something about the genre you do,
Yeah.
and perhaps the market for it in the Nigerian market.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a difference? Are we going to say different Waje after the concert? Is it like a rebirth?
It's a rebirth.
Okay.
It's a rebirth because, the only thing that's constant is change. And being able to connect to that change is where you differentiate yourself. However you connect to it. Sometimes we are headstrong and say, oh no, this is my personality. This is how, no, but it may not work. And if it doesn't work, go back to the drawing board. So what I did was, this concert is me bringing people into my own way as a performing artist. It's not just Waje singing. You need to be there because we've put in a lot of work. It's visual, it's theatrical, there's a lot of drama, it's flirty, it's sensual, it's fun, it's vibrant.
Does he have leg work?
Just come and you try and convince him. So on all of that, then I went into the studio. I now thought about collaborating with people who bring out my strength, right? And there's a young producer called Lyric, and we did a collaborative EP, and has what you suggested, fusing a few more modern type music, and strangely, it's a beautiful Waje that even myself I've fallen in love with.
You should get credit for that.
I should get credit for that.
That's the credit I'm giving him.
Should get credit for that. What are your strengths, Waje? I mean, because sometimes we get too comfortable in our comfort zone, but we don't take our time to do a personal SWOT analysis.
I don't really know how to answer that, and I'll tell you why. Because over the years, I've always thought that I was someone who was blessed with so much that is almost a blessing and a curse. I'm one of those artists that can do an R&B song, that can rap, that can sing high life, that can do reggae. You understand? But I've always interpreted my music through the eyes of other people rather than myself. And because I'm the creative, it's only natural for people to think it's my creation, because I wanted to carve a niche. And every time I tried to do something that I felt was fun and different, I would hear, Waje, this is the you we know. This is the you we know. But the you we know sometimes doesn't work. Sometimes you have to put a few things that presents a different you that people haven't met. So I honestly can't answer that question till that EP comes out. And
What's your contention with societal boxes? You know, because a lot of people say, this person is this kind of act, premium act, you know, you shouldn't be doing this.
It's like putting a kid in a chocolate shop and with different brands and telling the child you can only eat one.
Oh, wow.
It's an unfair place to be. We're creative. I should be able to interpret my creativity and my message in different ways. A song can come to me as a ballad. Another song can come to me as something that is influenced with Afrobeat, Fela's style. Something else can come to me in reggae. I shouldn't do so much work to make it a ballad because that's what you think that is.
Well, some people argue, sorry, probably not your forte. You want to jump on that?
Yeah, but I wanted to flip the coin to say the attitude of the consumer, because it's really about the consumption of the music. You could make music and then it's not consumed.
Yeah.
Have you been able to identify? Because some people would say, you know, the Nigerian consumer is unpredictable this time around. You really cannot tell what exactly it is. So if you say, you know, it's unfair, it's an unfair situation, do you flip that coin to look at the consuming public?
Where I flip the coin is ask the consumer why they love me and make sure that an element of that is in that music, in that song. If you listen to Ed Sheeran's album, you will love Ed Sheeran because he's always himself. He tells a story, but he makes it very funny, and his sound is... And even when he's singing a ballad, he doesn't necessarily bore you. You understand? He carries you emotionally. If you ask people what they love about Waje, one thing they're going to tell you is her voice. The day Waje removes that, she will no longer be Waje to the people that listen to her music. So how can Waje fuse that with a sound that people would enjoy to make sure that she gives them a complete package? And that's where I'm at now.
Let's talk a little bit about money. I'm excited you mentioned Ed Sheeran. That guy has the biggest record now for the highest grossing touring artist.
Yes. Yeah.
When are we going to have those records come out of a Nigerian act? Isn't it possible?
It's possible, and it's happening. It's honestly happening. Look at Wizkid and Drake, that collaboration. I can't imagine how much he made from it. Now, I'm looking forward to a time when we have our own platform that is catered for our market in Africa. Why? Because our earnings are different. You can't tell. Unfortunately, the Nigerian population is in a pyramid. It's a pyramid that is not like the Egyptian pyramid. It's literally like the roof of this building. You have 70% of the lower class we don't have a middle class. So when you tell someone to subscribe on our streaming platforms for 4,000 naira a month, and the person is probably earning 35K a month and has children, it's an unfair situation. Let's be honest. So when we create a platform that caters for our market, understanding our earnings, we'll have that because we have 180 million Nigerians. 10% of that consume your music. Come on.
And just before we go, a quick run through the concert again, September 1.
Yes.
It coincides with your birthday, right?
Yes, it's
Great. Muswan Center.
yes. So that's the best birthday present anyone can give me. So please go and buy your tickets. I will sell my market.
And just before we go, I want to get your thought on something very controversial that happened recently in the creative space.
Okay.
You mentioned techno earlier.
Yeah.
It's the video, the alleged video in the box with half-naked women.
I
What was your thought?
gave you a video.
I feel, let me not try and be moral here. Let me just be honest. I feel sometimes we focus on the wrong things. You understand? Abroad, when you're shooting, you get a license to shoot at that area. Maybe we should get to that point. And whatever anybody wants to shoot is their business. But arresting the person and making it illegal, I don't know if he broke any law, really. So I just think we pay attention to the wrong thing.
Okay. Well, September 1 is the date, and
Yeah.
Muson
Sun Shell Hall.
Is the
Red
venue?
carpet is at 5. Concert starts at 7. Please be there. Tickets 10K. They said at the table is 50K, and table is 500K.
We do get our tickets.
We'll get our tickets, all right? Well, that brings us to the end of the show today.
Thank you so much, Waje,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm Adeswa Omoran.
And I'm Rufai Seni.